All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. To return it is Corey Grant. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Corey Grant, 95 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
Detroit! Detroit! Four down. Check. 44's Mike. 44's Mike. Check. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Now the first NFL carry for Saquon Barkley. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. 44, Mike, 44.
On second down, here's Barkley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Gone! Three down. Watch you now, Barney!
The shotgun snap to Lauletta. To Barkley on the check down. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Gone!
A handoff to Barkley. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, here we go now. Green, 39.
Lauletta on third down. It's caught. Shepard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
Here's a give to Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Leopard! Single. 87's mine. I got 87. Gun!
Here's Lauletta now on second. Over the middle to Backo. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
All right, now, lucky 56.
From the red zone now, Lauletta. That's complete. Right around the 8. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. It's the fullback. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. PAT up and good by Rosas. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
A good pickup there, a 22. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Buying time to his left. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now Saquon Barkley. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. This is taken at the 10. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU. He gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player in the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Snickers, you gotta spin. Watch 7. AB. Hey.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. He's going to air one out. There's the first NFL catch for DJ Shark. Well, hold on to that football, young man. It's the first NFL touchdown catch for DJ Chark, as his guys have now moved out in front.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that makes the score 14-7. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. 22 yards on the pickup there. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Lay down. 44's the mic. 44's mic. Check.
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Ingram holds it in. 20. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Lauletta. And this is going to be intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know it feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment. But there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Going deep from up. It got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Finding room inside the 40. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time, and it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out come the Giants. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Detroit! Detroit!
A handoff, Barkley running left. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll fake it. Now Lauletta. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this will be taken at the 13. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Now Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Lauletta after the interception. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. They go play action here on first down.
And after that completion, you can
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 1st and 10. Lauletta. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Hey. You got three. Three down.
Out of the gun, Lauletta. He's going to fire one deep over them. And he fires one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Lauletta. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing on 3rd down, Lauletta. He finds Beckham complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. DeJuan Smoot with the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And it's up and good. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on first down. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Back to the air, Lauletta on second down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Well, let him out to throw it. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taken in at the 11. Uses the spin. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right down the brink, aren't they?
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a third down and 2.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Third and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to go for a big... And this is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark now with his third touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And he knocks it through.